What's up, YTPC? Uncle Willie coming to you on this Friday Eve from the coop. From the coop. Man, it's nice out here. I mean, it's almost like a fall day. Nice, mild fall day. It's rather nice. I didn't check the temperature. Don't matter. If it was any colder or whatever, I just put on a jacket. So I am smoking a Peterson Dury line, sandblasted, and I think it's got some beautiful sandblast rustication on it. And that stem is just freaking gorgeous. When this came up, I told y'all it's an estate. And for the price of it, I'd be a fool not to get it just for the stem. And today, you ain't gonna guess. You ain't gonna believe it. You ain't gonna believe what I'm smoking. I don't even know if I want to tell you. It's been in a jar with a Bovita pack. That Bovita pack is a 72% Bovita pack. It's been in there for probably close to 2 years. And I'm gonna say for a lot of people, this is the perfect moisture level. I'd like it to be just a little bit more moist. Well, look at it rising up there from the initial light. It's a little drier than what I prefer. And I can't remember if the plug was dry before or if it's just dried up that much with the Bovita pack in it. I'm glad I chose it. It's got that nice, I'm not gonna say the word because a lot of y'all laugh when I say it. I can see you in the back when I say it. It's got a nice licorice taste. Not a lot, no, not a lot. Just a little bit there in the background. It would be like coming in the back door. I know what some of you are thinking. It's like a little anisette. Why do we act like kids when we're not kids? Makes life fun. I don't have a whole lot to talk about today, so it's probably going to be a short video. But I went and picked up Peanut yesterday for her weekly gymnastic practice. And when I got there, I went in, her mom was slicing up an apple. She was peeling the apple, then she got one of them core where it slices and takes the core out. When she was pushing it through, Peanut Bailey, she says, "Don't cut all the juice out of it, Mom." Things kids come up with. Her mom looked at her and said, "I can't cut the juice out of it, Bailey." And she goes, "When you do it like that, you're cutting the juice out." And she's like, "No, the juice is still there." So we got to talking about different things, and then Bailey, she's standing there in the kitchen and she's like, "When I was little," and I looked at her, she's 6 years old, just turned 6. I said, "When you were little?" She said, "Yeah, when I was little, I used to call strawberries straw babies." And again, I repeated, I said, "So when you were little, you said you did that?" She goes, like, "Yeah, when I was little." I said, "Oh, so you're big now?" She said, "Yeah, Papa." Alrighty then. Oh my. So we get to gymnastics. And of course, I sit outside and have a cigar. Well, old Mr. GMC pulled in there, and it's a Yukon is what it is. Big old extended Yukon. He pulls up in there and backed into the spot. Pulls out, backs in again, and leaves it. I wanted to go over and ask him if he had been practicing, because it only took him 2 times instead of 4 times. And then I watched these other people pull in, and if there was 3 parking spots open. There's a car here, 3 spots, and a car here. This lady pulls into the middle spot, and she almost straddles the line on her driver's side. So that turns 3 spots into 2 spots, because nobody can park on the other spot because of the way she parked. Then the other one, you could park a car and a motorcycle in there, but there's no motorcycles. But that's how much room was left when she pulled into the other side. And I'm like, and she gets out, what she do? Got her phone up in her hand, up in her face. And I was like, she couldn't wait to pull in there so she could get on whatever it is she gets on. 4 out of 5 people that get out of their cars going into the gymnastic place got a phone stuck in their face. And their kids are running up and down the sidewalk. This one man, he got out. He had 2 little boys with him. They're just running away from him, and he's like walking and looking on his phone. And I'm glad I didn't grow up with cell phones and computers and all this high-tech crap. Can you imagine where we would be now if we had computers and cell phones 40, 50 years ago? Anyway, that stuff is pretty good. I remember liking it, and I don't remember why I didn't smoke it since. So my wife and I were talking yesterday about the insulin thing. She said if her calculations are right, we got till next week to use that bottle of insulin that we're using now. And I was like, this is what I don't understand. I just can't wrap my head around how it can go bad in 42 days. Now, if any of you are familiar with insulin, when you get it, it comes in a little vial. You can get the pen too, but I don't know anything about that, so I'm only speaking of the vial. It comes in a box. The vial comes in a box. On the box, what I just picked up the other day is good until 2025. 2025. It's good for 2 years as long as I keep it in that refrigerator unopened. Now here's the thing. If you've seen an insulin bottle, it's got a little cap on the top you pull off, but there's a plastic membrane that you have to put the syringe, the needle part, inside of that. Draw the insulin out. The insulin is never exposed to any air. It's got that membrane on it that you're only poking through, and that membrane is got to be tighter than skin, because when you poke the needle in and pull it out, it doesn't leak. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't show any place of being penetrated, where like if you get a needle, depending on where you get a shot, your butt, your shoulder, in your vein, it might show a little blood from a little prick hole, but then again, it might not. So if I'm sticking a needle in the insulin that has no air in the needle, I put it in, then I draw back and get the right dosage that I need and pull out. This insulin inside here has never been exposed to air. But as soon as I take that cap off, you've only got 42 days to use it. So I told her, I was like, this is just plain up, straight up bullshit. The people that have to pay for their insulin, and some people pay $300 or more for that little vial. And they have to get it, you know, daily, sometimes twice a day, like my little dog. 42 days, we haven't used but about half of that bottle. So we got to throw it away, because after 42 days, it's no good, they say. So the person that's using insulin, that spends $300 for that vial, and they don't use it all up in 42 days, and they got to throw away a half a bottle of insulin, it's $150 they're throwing away, to turn around and spend another $300 for another bottle because this one had to be thrown away. I told my wife, I said, I call bullshit on that. Well, she works for a biomedical research company. So she said she was going to ask one of the scientists today about that. Here is my take on insurance, medicine, the PBM. I know y'all have seen that commercial recently. The PBM, the pharmacy benefit, or the pharmacy benefit manager. They tell you where to get your medicine because they make a profit off of where you go to get your medicine from and all. I believe they have got a cure for a lot of different diseases that they aren't sharing with people. My personal belief is they have got some cancers kicked. They have got the cure for some cancers. And you'll never tell me that they don't. That just the same way of me believing in Bigfoot. You'll never prove that there's not a Bigfoot. I don't know if I can ever prove that there is one, but you can't never prove that there isn't one. So you can't tell me there's not a cure for some of the cancers that they have. And here is the reason why. A patient cured is a customer lost. If they cure this person of cancer, they've lost a customer. They don't have that person, man, woman, child, has no reason to buy those medicines anymore. or take those treatments anymore. Customer lost. A patient cured is a customer lost. And I'll believe that until I go to my grave. There's no way. My mom died in the 70s of ovarian cancer. And from 70, 75 until 2023, they haven't found a cure for that. BS. As Valen says, welcome to Planet Bullshit. Just my beliefs. You can believe what you want. We can talk about it. We can debate about it. We can fight about it. You still got your beliefs. I still got mine. Doesn't make me like you any less. But, like I said, until they can prove to me that they don't have a cure, because I know they do. I know they do. So my wife's going to ask one of the scientists today about how long insulin lasts in that vial once you pop the top. Because I told her I had a soda. I said, I realize that this soda has an expiration date. Same as that vial of insulin. So if even this bottle, this water has an expiration date, and it's freaking water. Where is it at? I know there's one on here, right there. At 25. Best before 5/1, and it looks like 25. Water's been around as long as the earth, and it expires. It's because they put a chemical in it. That's why. I told her, I said, if I don't open this bottle of soda and it had an expiration date of December 25 or December 24, it's because the chemicals in it break down and they lose their potency to keep it fresh for that long period of time. And I understand that with the insulin. That's why they put an expiration date on it of 2 years. But if it has a freaking 2-year shelf life, and you're going to tell me as soon as I poke in it and never expose it to air, it's only got 42 days before you have to use it. I understand that with a jar of olives, they're good until 2025. But once you open them, you gotta eat them within 4 months or 6 months or whatever, because it's been exposed to air. Same thing with the tin of tobacco. If it's sealed, it's good until you open it. But once you open it, air gets to it, starts drying out, even though you got it in a container. And here I thought I didn't have anything to talk about today. Oh my. Anyway, guys, remember, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And with that being said, until next time, you know what to do. Stuff them and puff them.